Good morning, good night, good evening to you all. Actually, it's almost good night, even though it's 6 p.m. Today's evening video, as you always see it, at 7 in the morning Italian time, but I prepare it beforehand. It's nice this way, ready, otherwise I would have to wake up at 6 in the morning, and that's not ideal. What are we talking about today? About friendships and acquaintances. How many friendships and how many acquaintances? We won't get into that discussion. It's obvious and a bit cliche that friends are few. You can count them on one hand. This isn't a channel for cliches. At most, it can be a channel for provocation, but not for cliches. Let's talk about other things. The number of acquaintances. I'm not talking about friendships. Friendships are few. Guys, right. We all know that. What do I mean by the number of acquaintances? I, for example, consider myself quite sociable. Let's set aside the fact that I now have my channels. I've been on YouTube for a few years now, but even before having my YouTube channels, I've always been someone who talked a bit with everyone. I really know a lot of people, especially here in Milan, then playing football even at an amateur level practically since forever, both when I played. I was already doing 5-a-side tournaments, 7-a-side tournaments, and so on. But even now I still play. I always have the chance to meet a lot of people. Now I work as a taxi driver, but even before in my other jobs, I've always met a ton of people. I've always enjoyed getting to know a lot of people and keeping good relationships with everyone. Right? You never know really why I like it, but it can always be useful to know you're the one who works in the emergency room at the Carrosario Hospital. Say hi to my friends, right? The one who works in the police, the lawyer, the politician who works in politics, the mobster, the not-so-good type, the thug, bit of everything. I like to get to know all kinds of people. Right. From the criminal to the police chief. I didn't say they're my friends. I didn't say they're doing the right thing by doing certain things. But I know a bit of everyone, right? You need to know how to deal with all kinds of people. Not everyone is like me, rightly. Not everyone is like me, so my reflection is it worth knowing a lot of people or not? Or is it better to focus on a few? There's no need to have all these connections, and so on. Let's say that the best thing on a practical level for a cynical person, not about values. There are some friends that I truly and sincerely and deeply know, from whom obviously you should keep a bit more distance, really. Now, I'll explain this type. They're those people, I don't know what to call them. They're not even cyclical. In quotes, they're a bit opportunistic. In quotes. There are some people who, in this historical moment right now, need a lawyer or the lawyer, become their best friend. They have dinners with families every day. They call each other. They're like brothers. The month after, they know they have to do the baptism for their daughter. So they need the restaurant owner, the one where they'll have the baptism for their daughter, maybe in a few months. That's the best friend. Maybe they don't hear from the lawyer anymore, who at least they needed because they've already used him. They always stay on good terms, but it's no longer useful to them like it used to be. First, they keep him around and become best friends with that restaurant owner from whom they have to do their daughter's baptism. They organize outings, events, nights out. The next day they need to buy a car and they have their friend who's a car salesman. They're the best friends of the car salesman. Of course, it's not something that happens day by day, but over the months, right? At that time, they really need that person and they become best friends with that person. It's not necessarily just one. Maybe there are 3, 4, 5 friends that they need at that moment during that period. They need those people, then they need another 4 or 5, and then they need another 4 or 5. I call those people the opportunists, and you can spot them right away. Because they are the ones who go from being strangers to your best friends in the span of 2 days. You see, they bombard you with calls, messages, asking how you are, how things are going. They worry about you, asking how you're doing here, how you're doing there. If you need anything, they'll help you. In reality, it's them who need it. And I'll annoy you, they are also pleasant people. In the sense that for that period when you are useful to them, you are truly their best friend. If you need anything, they are there for you because at that moment they are your best friends. But you always have to know that the people who give you complicity and understanding so quickly usually are the same ones who take it away just as quickly. They are the ones who like to change. Well, I'm also someone who likes to change, I have to be honest. After a while, I like to hang out with a different type of people because I also enjoy changing things up in what I do. During the day, I don't like doing the same things all the time. I like to change. In fact, I don't work in the office anymore. I took a taxi on purpose. They aren't dangerous people. They're friendly people. But they are that type of people. There are other people. I call them the sensitive ones, those who, for no reason at all, even if you've been friends for years, you know that every time you talk to them, you have to be careful. I'm not a superficial person, but I'm lighthearted in the sense that I'm calm even in my words. They are the ones who weigh every word you say. It's like a rock. I'm pretty lighthearted. And you say something to the sensitive ones, and just like that, after years of friendship, it's over. They won't talk to you anymore. And then you try to figure out why they got upset. It's over. They don't talk to you anymore, and then you try to figure out why they got upset. Maybe one usually doesn't even realize that the other person got offended because that time you organized the evening and didn't invite them. Maybe you didn't even notice, you completely forgot, and because of that I didn't talk to you for years. They are the sensitive ones. Usually the sensitive ones are also quite particular. What type of person are you? Are you there? Do you like having a lot of acquaintances or just a few? I couldn't tell you what's better. Maybe there's no better option. Every person has their own characteristics. The important thing is awareness, as in all things. The important thing is to be aware of what you are and what you have, because many times maybe one is good with everyone. They want to know everyone, but then in times of need they find themselves alone, and that's not great either. Friendships, though I haven't talked much about friendships, I've talked more about acquaintances. Solid friendships, you need to keep them strong and solid. Here's another type of person. They are the ones who give you everything, the friends who give you everything. Someone might say, oh, they're important, yes, but they are also the ones who usually ask for everything, so they can be quite demanding. There are those who are generous, they help you, and that's fine. But then there are those who give you everything, and they expect all of this. It happens in love too. Often, I'm not like that. I'm very generous, so I could give you everything. But those who expect everything from me, I feel almost obligated to do things and I shouldn't have to in friendship. I shouldn't feel that way. No, I have to do it because he does it. So I have to do it too. I shouldn't feel this way. It should come naturally to me. There are historical moments, opportunities for everyone. It's not like if you're not there one time, you're sad. If I'm not there, I just have to deal with being offended. One time I wanted to go out with my friends for a night out, but the other one didn't want to come. I said, I'm going. And he got offended. He didn't talk to me anymore. Let me understand. Let me know what you all think. What kind of people are you? Today's video is light, just a video for some reflection, to understand how we are. See you tomorrow. What kind of people are you? Today's video is light, just a video for some reflection, to understand how we are. See you tomorrow. Who knows? Maybe we'll talk about girls. Maybe we'll talk about other things. Seriously, who knows? Subscribe.